Let's go back to Old Trafford and get post-match reactions from the Manchester United manager. Here's Ruben Amorim.
Ruben, it's a point, but what did you make of the performance tonight?
I think it was not constant. We had good moments and we lost a little bit in the first half and a little bit in the second half. After the goal, we lost a little bit the control of the game. We should have closed the game when we scored the first one. The game was in control. We knew it. Let's defend far from the box. Any set pieces can be a problem with the difference of height in the team. We could do it. We could maintain the ball after the first goal, and again we lost 2 points.
Where do you think it sort of happened from after Manchester United scored the goal to not hold on to that, to let that other goal go in?
It's just losing second balls, and when they kick the ball, Mateus running with the ball, they winning the first ball, and then Bowen making the runs. You can control that kind of game. We should be better with the ball after the first goal. We had a big opportunity with Cunha. We were near the box, but then the crosses were not good. The characteristics of the players sometimes inside the box are not enough to score a goal from that position. So that's it.
The big positive, though, for Manchester United, Diogo Dalot getting his goal when he did, to score that opening goal. I can understand that it feels more frustrating at full time because you come away with a point. But for him to get his first Premier League goal at Old Trafford as well, in the style that he did it, it felt like a striker's finish, really.
Yeah, but it's a goal. We draw. That doesn't matter.
With West Ham's equaliser, it was a substitution change that it made, which meant that Jarrod Bowen was able to get in and around the area. He obviously got the header, which was rebounded away, and then it resulted into the goal. Did it feel like it sort of took the players off guard a little bit? No,
it's not an excuse. The player changed, but we know what to do in every situation, and the game is 83 minutes, and we need to close the game and not suffer a goal.
When you're looking at the next couple of fixtures as well, then, how important is it to be in a good position come the new year?
Everything is important. Every game is important. We need to win the next one.
Thank you very much, Ruben, for your time. See you soon.
Through down the tunnel, West Ham taking a moment to enjoy with their fans.
Yeah, and to be fair, I think for West Ham, it's not a place where you go and expect points. Do you know what I mean? So I thought Manchester United dominated large portions of the game, but I thought West Ham always posed a threat on the counter-attack. And I thought when Man United made changes, they made 5 of them, I just thought they lost a little bit of rhythm. You know, that's half your team, especially in defensive positions in the midfield. And credit, West Ham, they pounced.
What do you think was key for West Ham in getting that equaliser?
I think just believing you could get something out of the game. I don't think they sort of went into a low block and just invited the pressure, even though they had long periods without the ball. I felt like they believed that they could get something out of the game. I thought that Bowen probably set it off really. He was the one that was quite positive every time he got the ball, and then they got what they deserved.
To be fair to Manchester United going into halftime, we said they were the better of the two sides, especially going forward. They had so many opportunities. No surprises then that they opened the scoring.
Yeah, I mean, they were the team kind of pushing. I thought West Ham had a couple of moments here and there, but I thought Man United, this is kind of what the game looks like. Good, comfortable possession. Dalot kind of gets into the box there, and it's a great touch and a great finish. But I think when you see it from this wide angle here, they've got good possession. I think Dalot, when the wing-backs get high, it allows you to get bodies in the box. And I think West Ham, in the end, they just get overloaded. Everybody's man for them, 5v5, and then Dalot just pops in there. That creates the overload. Wan-Bissaka's not sure. Mavropanos is not sure. Everybody's marking man for man, but Dalot's free. And it's just great awareness to just go into the box. And that's why he's free, Jay. Everybody else is marking somebody, and fair play to him though, Jay. It's a great touch and finish. Yeah, the touch is obviously it's instinctive and that, but even from this angle there, I just don't understand how you can have so much space. The ball goes wide, defend the box. When it goes wide, defend the box. When it's in the box, defend the goal. And for him to get that much time there to touch and finish, if that was me, I'd be thinking, wow, have I got? I bet he can't believe his luck. And the finish, Wan-Bissaka's got to try and block or get a little bit closer.
Yeah, he did really have a lot of time and space there, as you mentioned. Just a word for Ahmed, because he kind of starts it, and you've been talking about Manchester United wing-backs needing to get further up quicker.
Yeah, and I thought Ahmed did brilliant kind of we say when the wing backs have done really well, they play really high and they get really aggressive, especially against a team like West Ham that only play one up. And if you've got 3 centre backs, that means Ahmad can get really high.
Yeah.
And once they double up on him, that means there's space on the other side there. Okay, it takes a deflection, but I think it all stems from Ahmad being really positive, beating people 1v1. Nobody can stop him, I think, 1v1. So once he gets into that position, get bodies in the box and they get a bit lucky.
Right, let's look at the goal that does level things up, that makes it 1-1. It came 7 minutes from time for Sangutu Magasa. Here it is then, and you'll talk us through it.
Do you know what I have to say? It's an amazing goal, amazing finish. But Bowen does so well, just getting the first contact at the near post. And Magasa, he just drops to him and he's just reacted. But when you see it from a different angle, he has to get it right into the corner.
Masraoui does brilliant, by the way.
Yeah, you feel bad for him because he does well with that clearance.
Yeah, it does, unbelievable. And obviously he can't get up, but still, he still has to get it right in the corner by the post and that. And when you see it from this angle, it's like the perfect finish.
So many corners now are scored from second phase. Sorry about the first phase. So obviously, because Masraoui doesn't get a good contact on that, do you need your teammates there, kind of in and around it? Everybody's kind of in the middle, but you probably needed 1 or 2. Once that clearance came out, then they can maybe go and tackle or win that. But Magasa, I mean, what a moment for him. First goal at Old Trafford. I mean, you would have dreamed of that as a young kid. I'm not sure what teams he watched, but I'm sure he would have dreamed of scoring there. And you saw his smile on his face, how happy he was. It was a big moment for him. But I just think they could have defended that a bit better.
Freddie Potts was on standby, so we had to cut that chat about the substitutions a little bit short. Let's go back to it now and look at the timing of it, the number of subs that they made, and how they influenced the flow of the game.
Yeah, I think at this point they were in good control, and I think obviously you're for heaven. I don't know what happened there, if that could have been, maybe an injury related. But I just think when you change, a lot of those are kind of at the back.
Yeah.
Martinez for sure and Dogu for Dalot. And I don't know, they didn't defend the same as they did. I think they had something similar at Tottenham. They made quite a few changes and it kind of affected them. So, you would have loved to see if he could have maybe Cunha, maybe need to go off Cunha at 77 minutes. But I just think 5 players, from your 10, obviously the goalkeeper, that's half your team, and then maybe communication isn't there. But it affected them for sure tonight.
Yeah, when you're making defensive changes, especially, on the verge of a clean sheet, how disruptive is that?
Well, it can be. It's just partnerships and relationships, and especially when they've played so well and they've been so comfortable in the game. I think West Ham had a few moments on the counter, but not many. And then from that moment on, it felt like West Ham had quite a few moments in there. Yeah. I know they didn't have a lot of the ball, but they created more moments from that time.
Yeah. Especially at that moment when they sort of had a little bit of momentum, and then you come in as a sub, especially in defensive areas, it takes a little bit of time. Whereas I feel like when you make substitutions in the forward areas, a lot of the game's off the cuff, if that makes sense. Yeah. So for a forward, you're sort of like you come on to make an impact in that, but a lot of it's off the cuff. Defensive, you've got to be very careful.
And the thing is, as well, United have only kept 1 clean sheet. That if they're going to want to finish in the top 4 or 5 and be in the Champions League places, they need to start keeping some clean sheets. That's a game at home today against West Ham where you should be keeping a clean sheet.
Yeah, the clean sheet was Senna Laman's very first game for the club, and they haven't kept a clean sheet since.
It's fine. We're still 3-1 up with a few minutes. That's what you mean.
It's not first half. And it's not first half, it's 10 minutes to go. You have a chance to go 5th after so many years of disappointment, years of criticism. You know what is happening if they equalize. They're going to kill you tomorrow in the press, they're going to boo you. So 10 minutes, be like double focus.
But we feel like something's going to happen, so I don't understand how the players can't feel it. No matter how, you might be playing a really poor team, you want it, but anything can happen. We've just seen there with a set piece. And obviously West Ham stayed in the game and good delivery. But United, again, you felt like in America, calling a timeout and getting the United players to get after 70 minutes ago. Lads, the game's in the balance still, as if they were 2 or 3.
When you were both playing in that situation, I know it wouldn't have happened but could you sense it coming for the opposite? You're saying you don't know how the players didn't sense it. Well, you hope it.
Well, your experienced players go, you try, what you'd say, you smell it, go, they're still in the game here. United making substitutions, and the manager's entitled to do that. But I was looking at players coming off, and everyone, it was like they'd won the league, and they're all just all chilling out. You go, it's 1-0, get off the pitch, get somebody, show some intensity to your play when you're defending set pieces, when the subs are going on and the subs are coming on. It was all a bit like, hey, this is It's just cool.
Exactly, yeah.
You can't be cool when you 1-0 up. Get the job done. You 1-0 up, then show your quality. Man United, they're more quality players than West Ham. They have, in general. And this is not a good United team. But show that when you get 1-0 up, where you go, all right, you can relax a little bit off because you got that 1-0, a little bit, but not anything can happen. But United were all like
exactly.
too chilled out, too relaxed. Get the job done.
Exactly, and I'm not saying that when we played or managed that it was perfect. I conceded many as a player, as a manager, zillion goals like that. But
United's last
after that, we were like, I was angry because let's say you are 1-0 up, 10 minutes to go. If they score, it's gotta be a screamer. It's gotta be from 20 yards. It's gotta be great header from whoever. Blah blah blah. But not cheap goals, you know what I mean? We gotta beat Deborah for 10 minutes to go.
But the last 3 or 4 games United have played, that sums them up. It's just not quite doing enough.
It's just a bit. Bleh.
Yeah,
Isn't it?
you know,
Is that what you're saying?
I can't even
Like
find
doesn't
the word
matter
for it.
thing, you know. Like okay, the new chance will come next week. Next
Where's
week.
the frustration with the group of players? We saw it the weekend. I'm looking at the last 2 or 3 games, and I've watched the games closely. The lack of quality and intensity in their play. Yeah, they got 2 goals against Palace, but Palace defended the way Palace defended them 2 goals were like a pub team, really bad. United kind of got out of jail, but then you give them credit for going hanging in there and sticking at it. But then tonight you go United. A lot of praise before the game, and they get a lot of good PR. They're good at set pieces. They can go 5th. And as if this team's not ready to go 5th in the league. They've got Wolves. They've got Wolves next. Mm-hmm. There's an opportunity. Saw Wolves the other night. Wolves, one of the worst teams I've ever seen in the Premier League. Let's see if United can go do a job with them. And if they do get 1-0 up, don't sit back and go, we're playing Wolves or like West Ham tonight who are in the bottom 3 going, yeah, we got 1, don't worry, there's another 2 or 3 coming here. We're going to try and flex our muscles. But then he makes his substitutions and the game all became a bit stretched and a bit, which suited West Ham. Because West Ham thought, listen, do you know what United gave West Ham tonight? They gave them hope. But when you're here and you're 1-0, go, no, you don't even dream you're getting back into this game. But West Ham, as the game was going on, we're sitting here. Slavs had a pack of biscuits at this stage, and we're sitting there going,
whoa, pop kettle. No offence, but pop kettle.
I had a few.
Yeah, you did.
4 or 5.
No, you know what?
But I don't get it, how the players don't sense it, or the manager doesn't sense it going, lads, there could be a twist here. There could be a twist when you're 1-0. And the last 2 home games, United have scored 1 goal. You got to do better than that.
What I didn't like, we are in football for so long that sometimes the teams that are in trouble, that are on a bad run, then you are winning. And then you concede a goal because you are scared. You are scared. It's always, let's not concede. But you concede because you're afraid. It wasn't like this. For me, they conceded because they were too comfortable. They were sloppy. They thought, it's over, we're going to win it anyway. And that happened to them.
But that's worse,
that's what I do. That's worse. That's worse. Because the one when you are afraid, you know, it's human. You are human. You know what I mean. You can't help it.
And you can't.
This is like.
You can't relax in this game when you're 1-0 up. I know. I kind of played with a kind of an angry head on, but you can't relax. And I see people going on and off, and it was just substitutions where players were walking off. Every player at Old Trafford now gets a standing ovation. I'm going. What are the standards of the club? Where are the standards from? Is it coming from the top, the players, even the fans? The fans are cheering everything these days.
Although that, just on the fan side of things, is just them trying to, isn't it?
Trying what?
To lift it?
Trying to lift it. Yeah, maybe. There's a bit of that.
Okay.
But
Fair
also,
enough.
where's your standards? Where's your demands on the club? Where's your expectation? You're 1-0 up and it's just a bit, again, I said at half time, you're waiting for something to happen. Get your top players on the ball. Make it happen. Get the job done. Maybe relax at 3-0. Neither then you're going, hold on, because you're on about setting standards and good habits. But you 1-0 up and they give a corner away. Bruno gets drawn to the ball. And it's like Bowen, he said himself, he's 5'9", one of the smallest players on the pitch. He's getting a header. We're praising United the last week, saying how good they are at set pieces. Well, that works both ways. It's well and good attacking. You got to defend them. You defend it properly. At least you say it was a poor game, but you get 3 points.
Yeah, it's right. But what Mark said, I mean, you got a point. It's like from fans' point of view, they are helping them. Like Thomas Frank said the other day, don't boo us during the game. Boo us after the game.
I'm not saying to boo them, but don't be cheering every time a player traps the ball, though.
Manchester United were held to a frustrating 1-1 draw by West Ham United at Old Trafford. in a match that perfectly summed up the Reds' ongoing struggle to turn dominance into victories. United controlled the flow of the game from the start, enjoying long spells of possession and creating several promising chances. However, West Ham were organized defensively and refused to give up space easily in dangerous areas. The breakthrough finally arrived in the 58th minute when Diogo Dalot scored from close range after a loose ball fell kindly to him inside the box. His goal sparked relief and belief among the home fans, who expected United to kill the game off. Instead, the final stages exposed the team's familiar weakness, a lack of composure and focus when protecting a lead. With just minutes remaining, West Ham capitalized from a set piece. A flicked header caused chaos in the United defense, allowing Sangutu Magasa to fire in the equalizer. United pushed hard for a winner, with Bruno Fernandes twice going close in stoppage time, but it wasn't enough. The draw leaves United missing out on a valuable opportunity to move up the table, while West Ham gained a much-needed point in their fight for survival.